Hey everyone, today we are finally going to plant the Royal Raindrops crabapple. I have had this tree since the end of September. I have been wanting to get it in the ground for weeks. It's been pushed to the back burner because we've been planting other things. It should be relatively easy to plant because there's no bed for it to go into. We're just plunking it in the ground. Much like the Thuya Thin Man that we planted the other day, we're going to be coming around in the spring and creating the bed around the crabapple. But because the location is a little bit difficult, as far as there's other things there. There's the edge of the rain garden berm. There's a large spruce tree. You can get that large spruce tree. So the bed is going to be created between those two structures, and I'm having a hard time envisioning it because originally I just wanted to create a bed from the edge of the rain garden berm all the way to the space underneath the billy spruce. It would just be one big bed. But my husband wants to create a grass pathway to leave between the edge of this new bed and the rain garden, so that if we ever have to get to the back of the rain garden, we can get a lawnmower back there or our big tractor. So that's kind of throwing a mental block for me in trying to envision what this bed is going to be shaped like now. So I've kind of been putting off, I guess, planting it, but I'm going to get it done today. So come garden with me and we'll get this crabapple in the ground. So this is the area where the tree is going to go. And you know, I guess making this area here into one big bed would require an awful lot of soil and mulch to connect the edge of the rain garden there in with our stones. So in order to leave a little bit of a path around the edge of the bed here, everything I want to plant now is going to have to come shifted down here. The crabapple is a Royal Raindrop, so it's not a really big growing crabapple. Smaller growing 15 to 20 footer. And again, we need to create a bed around it, leave a path, and then I want to put some other shrubs here. As you can see right now, at this time of the year, it's a little shady. Now, at this time of the year as well, we have that large tree to contend with. But in the morning, it is a little bit sunnier here. In between, let's see if I can get up here, like before the sun hits that tree. And then in the summer it does get quite a bit of sun down this area. You can see up there or down there it's a little bit sunny. Up here it's a little bit shady. I don't know. So we have different varying kind of sun up here at different times of the year. But I feel like the crabapple will be fine, and maybe plant some in front of it sweet box because they can handle a little bit of shade and they're deer resistant, and some maybe incredible blushes down here, which I have wanted and have not had success with. I'm just having trouble envisioning how this bed is going to work. I'm going to have to come up here, and I feel like the outside curve of the new bed is going to have to mimic the curve of the rain garden. I don't want to go all the way back, even though that is our property. The property stake, you could see that stake right there. So that is our property line, I think, although that means our rain garden goes out. I don't know. The property lines around here are so confusing, but I don't want to go back to the edge of the property. So again, having a bed here it's causing me just some mental issues. So I'm going to go get the plant. I'll set it down and then we'll pick it up from there. Oh, before I do that, something else to mention. My husband got hurt last night when we were trying to plant some free trees we got from the township. And I might end up doing this myself. So I'm not sure how easy that's going to be. I'm hoping in an hour or so he might be feeling a little bit better to help. It's not easy digging in grass. And another thing we have to worry about is that there's a pipe. Not sure if you can tell, but from there up is a pipe, because that drains our rain garden if it ever gets full. so that it doesn't overflow. So like I said, I'm going to go get the crabapple tree and bring it up here, and I'll pick up with you then. So I think I got everything in this cart here that I might need to plant. And I'm thinking putting the crabapple tree there. I think that will leave enough edge or enough room at the edge of whatever kind of bed we decide to create here. Just so the bed would kind of just be along the edge here. Or the grass path, did I say? Grass path. Just enough so that we could get around a rain garden berm if we needed to. So I don't think it needs to be a very wide path. And I don't want to put the tree too close to the spruce tree because then we really won't see it from the house. I feel like once it gets bigger, obviously we're going to see it from the house. But this one has really pretty purple spring flowers, purple pinkish and burgundy foliage. So I kind of always want to see this from the house. Once it gets mature, we will see it. So this is where we would be looking at it from the house. So you can still see it there. And I want to make sure it's far enough away from where this pipe comes in, which is right there. You can kind of almost see the indent. Grass has never really grown back in yet. So I might just want to play around a little bit. I wish I had a hose, a really, really flexible hose, so I could kind of outline what a bed would look like here. But I feel like there's enough room from behind the crabapple to create a bed, leave enough of a path, and then have enough room up here for it to come off the crabapple enough and be a round edge. And then still have room to plant some sweet box and some pretty incredible blushes. I think maybe that should go in slightly and go up there and see. I feel like it's just maybe just a little too far out. See if I can place you here without falling on this bench. I don't think it's gonna stay, maybe. Oh my goodness. All right, let's hope that stays. Obviously, we'll have to play with that a little in the spring. All right, let's see if I can get some of that hole dug without you falling. I had to go get a bucket for the grass. So I pretty much got the hole dug. I think it's deep enough. I need to go scrape some of it out of the edges though. And there's way more dirt than I need. I pretty much filled up my bucket. So I've been just dumping it here. That's fine. Nobody goes under there. So what I've been doing a little bit too, I'll show you real quick, at least in Pennsylvania, when you are digging a hole in clay soil, so you don't create that bathtub effect, You want to kind of score the sides of your holes like I'm doing with the shovel to create some drainage areas for the water to go to. You don't want smooth sides when you're digging a hole in clay soil. So I'm just trying to score the sides a little bit. All right, I'm going to finish up, so stay tuned. So I think this hole's deep enough. Again, I want to keep the tree raised a little bit because we're going to be creating a bed around it with compost and mulch. So I don't want the tree to be buried once we lay that all down in the spring. So I think that hole is deep enough once I get some more soil around it, compost it and mulch it for the winter, and we'll be good to go. So the root ball started to fall apart a little bit as I was taking it out, but you can see this is a grafted tree. There's the graft. So I'm going to have that facing backwards. But again, I think now that I took it out of the pot, the tree must have been in the pot a little low, because now I feel like it's just even with the soil and I need to add some soil. So I'm going to have to put some more soil in here, so stay tuned. So it turns out once I added some soil to the hole, my tree was too high, which often happens. So I think I need to go get some compost, more compost from the garage. I used that whole bucket of soil. I don't know, I feel like it's not enough. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of compost and then we'll mulch it and we'll be finished with this project. Okay, tree planted, mulched, composted. I think it's going to look really pretty here once it matures. You can see we already have some pretty darkening foliage, some red. This tree has burgundy leaves all year, well, in season. So I think this will be a really pretty addition to the garden. And again, it'll be a really good, pretty centerpiece for whatever kind of bed we create up here. So I hope you enjoyed this video of me struggling to get a tree planted and using bagged mulch and compost, which I really don't like to do. I find it very difficult to work with. I really would prefer to order it in bulk, which typically we do, but we just didn't need that much at this time of the year. Just wanted to come up and do a quick little end video of the crabapple with the sun in a different direction than it was when I was planting it. I feel like even in its small size, the sun from behind makes it really glow, look really pretty. I can definitely see this from the house when I was just sitting inside eating lunch. I almost feel like it should have gone back a little bit farther. But I guess once we actually get the bed created around it next year, we'll figure that out. We'll see how it looks. But right now I can definitely see it from the house, and I really like the way it turned out.